sentimental. Been through things I would've sent man mental. I'm a walking flexing journal, yeah. I got bands on me, I'm orchestral.
Sing a song?
Yes.
You know waves?
The waves that move.
Yamaha empowering worship.
And I love that Yamaha are empowering worship.
Yamaha for empowering worship.
Yamaha empowering worship. Yeah.
Hello and good afternoon everyone. Thank you once again for joining our Enrich Worship Experience Vol.2. And today's topic is about communication between sound engineer and also musician in church. I believe a lot of us having this issue. Me and Iko also having this issue when we are still young, when we are less experienced time. And I hope by our sharing today, our experience can help you and help to improve your ministry and help you to improve your serving system in church. Hey, Iko, can you introduce a bit about yourself?
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Iko Noel, and I've been serving in church for almost 15 years for now. Yeah, from local church until the big conferences in Sabah and Malaysia lah. Yeah, so I've been involved in quite a lot for the past 15 years.
Thank you. Since what age are you starting in serving? On 10, 12?
I remember when I was 14 or 15. Yeah, I started with playing acoustic guitar.
Acoustic guitar.
Yeah, because
on stage?
On stage. Because that time, the seniors, they don't trust me to play bass yet. Yeah, so I just play guitar, and I remember there was once a festival where the main band is all connected. Like lah, basically they have drums, bass, keyboard, guitar. They were all connected and connected to the speaker and amp. And there's one group of acoustic players, 5 people lah. I was one of them. So we were just playing there without mic. So it's just like
So you are sharing a mic? Is it?
No, there's no mic at all. We just like got 5 acoustic player at the side of the stage. We just play and like a backup musician lah.
So 5 acoustic guitar player.
Yeah.
The more that acoustic player is make the sound bigger, so called.
No, it's not even mic.
Oh, it wasn't even mic.
It was when I first started lah. It was like teenage years.
So at that time, do you have any knowledge about music? Any knowledge about audio?
Audio, no. Music, I just learned from church because that time YouTube is still. I mean, there's not much content on YouTube, so I'm just like whatever my seniors are playing, I just learn from them.
At that moment, do you know something called about sound system in the church? Do you understand it? Do you know what the function of the speaker, of the microphone?
I know the function is just because that time the instruments are not connected to the mixer. So the sound is only coming from the speaker on the stage. So only vocalists are connected to the mixer, their mics are. So I only know that mixer is just to enhance the volume for the singers. That's all I know. I don't know like music need to connect to the mixer. I don't know that.
Okay, Iko, in your church, who is always make the decision of upgrading to purchasing or changing the schedule of your ministry?
Okay, in terms of buying things, usually our head of department will make the decision. They will analyze the things that we have, the equipments, and will suggest to the pastors lah whether things that we needed to upgrade lah. Yeah, so it's usually from the sound engineer, head of department, and the musician also the head of department also can give some input, but the final decision is from pastor itself lah. Okay, in terms of ministry, our church is flexible because usually we have our practice at 7:30, but sometimes we have team members who are not working, so they are serving on that week, so they can come early. So we can move the practice earlier, like at 5:30 like that lah. So it's always flexible lah.
Okay. Iko, what is the struggle in your church when you are serving as a musician?
Okay, struggle. Think how to make it consistent every week lah. Because we have different musicians, we have different soundmen from different level of background. So how to make it consistent in terms of this line check is like less than 5 minutes. Sound check can be done in less than 30 minutes. How to make it consistent every week lah. Basically, it's just consistency lah.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
The first struggle.
I think it's just the balancing. And that time, we were trying to use. We don't really. We have amp also. We have amp on the stage, but how to mix the sound from the stage and the mixer, because we are also connected to DI. So soundmen have to control bass from the house, and also have to control the leakage from the stage. So I think it's more of the balancing lah.
And that time the church has a proper system, or just asa-ada, just not so high tech.
That time is better, I think, better than from my previous church. Yeah, because everyone is connected to the mixer. So like drums got their own mic, bass connected to the DI.
Any technical issue happened during the time that you found that you cannot focus on your playing?
I think when we first started using in-ear. Yeah.
Oh, in-ear.
Yeah, IEM, because we bought the Behringer what are the 4 splitter one?
The headphone splitter.
Headphone splitter.
Yep.
So we all have to share the same mix, and we are all using different in-ear or headphones. Some using normal phone earphones, some are using proper in-ears. So we are getting different balance also lah. So like, let's say for me as a bassist, I want more bass in my mix, but then the keyboardist say, your bass is too loud.
Basically all of you are sharing in one mixer.
Yeah, sharing the same mix.
Yeah.
So there's a bit of challenge there lah, how to make it happy for everyone lah. Yeah.
Since Iko is talking about the IEM, that I want to ask, what is the reason, the main reason that you want your musician to use IEM that time?
Okay, at that time, our pastor suggested we start using click metronome for everyone. So not just the drummer lah. And from click, want to use backing track. So that's the main purpose, and so everyone can hear the click lah. And then also, we started using MD mic to give guide and cue for the band. Yeah, I think that was the main reason we shift to in-ears.
The reason I ask because for IEM setting, you need a different route or different patching to do it. For example, just now he said that the musician need to play with click, tick, tock, 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 tick, tock, and also we have an MD mic or talkback mic. So the MD will have a mic for himself and connect to the mixer. So a normal soundman, they didn't know how to patch only to their in-ear and not into the house speaker. Then everyone in the church will hear the tick, tock, 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 tick, tock, 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 and also the MD might say words, chorus. The whole church can hear it.
It happened before. It happened before during service.
Yeah. So this is the very important that we have a communication with MD or the music pastor or the worship pastor, saying that, oh, what is your requirement, your new your new system in running the band. So they will say IEM. Then engineer have to ask, oh, you want to have a separate mix or individual, or everyone share the same mix, or the singer and the band have different mix. So this kind of communication is needed. It's not that, oh, I want to use IEM, just buy and connect. Then how to run, how to mix. Then without the right knowledge, the more that you add, you're not actually adding a solution, you're making a more issue problem.
Correct.
And create more bass, more guitar. So I believe before I joining them, and they have a struggle every week, they say the mix is not balanced, cannot hear. Then when I start to be part of the team and I sit down with them, and as I start to realize, oh, all of you are hearing the same mix, of course, you cannot have separation. And I suggest them to have a different output for each musician. And when the requirement getting more advanced and getting more complicated, some equipment have limitation. That time we are using analog mixer, Yamaha MGP 24. The limitation is only have 4 aux, which means you can have a 4 separate output. But we have 6 band at the time, 6 players, and also stage monitor for singer. We don't have enough output. This is where the solution need to be more advanced, and we need some upgrades. And with the requirement needed and with the knowledge and we can propose to our council or our senior pastor that, or we want to have improvement in our church, especially the worship team. This is the things that we need. So with the knowledge and skill, with the communication, we agree to purchase a system that really can help to improve the worship environment. Why not? So everything changes. We need to sit down. It's not about, oh, soundman want to buy a new mixer because it looks cool. Engineer, musician want to have in-ear because everyone is using it. We never follow trend. Sometimes we will see, why they just using IEM. We will go and ask them. We will gain a knowledge. How do you run the MD mic? What IEM are you using? You are using wireless or using a wired mic? And talk about the IEM, we have we have tried many methods. We have tried a splitter, and we sit down together and discuss. If not, we will continue struggling, debating who is right or wrong. In the end, the main purpose we doesn't achieve. Right?
Yeah.
Do your church soundmen have knowledge in music? Do they play music?
Okay. Because we have few soundmen in our church. Some of them they do play music, so they are also in the
Good.
in the musician team lah. And some of them they are not. So yeah, we have two categories lah.
Do you think that it's a very important that a soundman need to have knowledge in music?
I think it would be helpful lah, because some of the best sound engineers that I know of, they also have knowledge in music. They can at least play guitar lah, and yeah, they at least know music lah. It's important lah for me.
For you, it's a must. Why a sound engineer have to understand about music?
Because when you know music, you can see from the musician's perspective. So like, let's say the sound engineer, let's say I'm a sound engineer, and I can also play music. So as a musician, what do I need from the sound engineer? What do this specific song needed to sound like? So if I know a bit of music as a sound engineer, it will be helpful to enhance the overall sound lah. Yeah.
I just want to share a little bit about myself, and I'm actually a soundman in church when I'm serving as young, but I didn't really have a good knowledge about audio engineer, sound system. I think my church setting and his church setting is the same. Only the vocalist is connected to the mixer, while the guitarist, the bassist have their own amp, and then they can just play as loud as they want.
As loud as they want.
Nobody gonna stop them, and it's a really real freedom for them.
Correct.
And we thought all this setup is correct, right? Like mic. Do you have mic in your drum?
No, we don't.
No, you just whack the drum. You can't control it.
We don't even have a drum shield.
Yeah, don't even have drum shield, and the drummer love it.
Yeah.
So since when that you have this knowledge that a proper sound system we need to have a proper sound system in a music band set up in the church?
I think after I studied in UMS, I went to UMS to study music. So from there I'm exposed to more different settings, especially in terms of sound settings. So from there I know, actually all this bass, all this guitar need to be connected to the mixer, so that the soundman can balance it properly from the console.
What is your understanding about connecting everything into the sound mixer? Is it very important, or is it a must for you at that time?
It's just we reached a level where we were thinking like, how can we improve our overall sound? Because now we were all like just awake from our own speaker. Actually, from my side, when I first given opportunity to play bass, like I was 15 or 16. From acoustic, I upgraded to become a bass player lah. I used 2 bass amp in every service. So like I just take 2 lah, cause I feel like my bass is too soft. So I used 2 bass amp. Like 1 bass amp is like 100 watt each. So the others, they just use small amps, but I'm like so temberang. I want to use 2 bass amps.
So you cover the whole band.
I cover the whole band.
Yeah, this is the struggle that I facing also, and Eko facing also, that the musician doesn't have the knowledge. They will start to like feed themselves. They want themselves to be heard. But they forgot that the term that we are playing in the band, there's not supposed to be the bass is louder than the guitarist, and the guitarist is supposed to be louder. This is where the communication between sound engineer and musician is very important, because whatever that they hear on the stage is so much different in the house. In the house mean under the stage, down the stage. So you need someone that can be trusted, and you need someone to give feedback to them. And I believe the right person, either than the music pastor or the MD, is the audio engineer, the sound man in the church. So a lot of things that if we don't have the knowledge with each other, we are always right. Apa kau tahu lah, I play bass for so many years, you only do sound, you don't mind my business lah. I believe this happened in many churches. To help to improve all this situation, there is no right or wrong. We need knowledge. I don't know how to play bass, and he don't know about the mixers. This is why we need to sit down and have a communication. So, for the example, the incident that Iko using two bass amp. In his perspective, he said that it's good, the sound's good, everything is good, but in the house maybe it's too loud. This is where the sound engineer has to step in. Or you need to figure out. In this scenario, I will ask him, why do you need to use two amplifiers? He said he cannot hear. Or I got the problem from him is saying that he cannot hear. By adding 2 amp, make it hear much clearer. Is it really help? So with the right knowledge, I will explain to him, actually the low frequency of the bass, we have a deaf spot or blind spot that we cannot hear certain frequency. So with this knowledge, I explain to him, maybe he need to stand in different position so that you can hear the bass clearly. So I believe without using 2 amp, but you're standing in the right position, you can hear it much clearer than using two amplifier. And a little bit technical here I want to share is that when 2 amplifier produce the same frequency in bass, it produce cancellation or phasing issue. Some of the frequency may be louder and some of the frequency may be missing due to the cancellation. This is why we need knowledge to rectify the issue. Not like it means that you want louder, you put 3 amp. You want louder, you put 4 amp. This doesn't solve the issue, and the problem you will create more problem by adding a wrong method. Okay, now we're going to talk about how do we do line check and also sound check. So first of all, the line check should be done before we do sound check. Okay, how do we do line check? So as a soundman, I will ask Eco to scratch or just click the mic so that I can receive a signal in my channel. Okay, Eco, can you knock the mic or scratch the mic? So you can see here, I'm receiving from channel 16 and I receive some signal here. Okay, after that, I can do my gain structure. So to do the gain structure, you cannot by doing the scratching, because we only want to make sure the line is working, the cable is working, the mic is working. We're receiving a signal. And then Eco will explain to you before we do sound check what he's gonna do, what is his practice, what is your practice, Eco, when after we do a line check. What is your next step?
Okay, once the soundman get the correct line check, the guitar is in the correct channel. This is basic, how do you say? This is the basic thing that people always miss, because they always think it's not important. It is that you have to tune the guitar. I have my tuner here, but it's not in the camera lah. So basically, you want to make sure everything is in the right tune. Yeah. Once you got the right tuning on your guitar, you have to check the choice of sounds that you are going to use. Like for the settings that I will for this set, usually I will use clean, crunch, and slightly overdrive sound. Yeah.
Okay, after that, the soundman will ask, can you play a clean tone? The reason I asked him to play the clean tone that I want to get a right signal on my console here. So in TF, we have this gain finder page. So you slowly increase the gain while he playing. Eco, can you continue to play? So we are not raising the fader on the console yet. We're just raising, make sure we get a right signal here. Can you continue play, Eco? Okay, sometimes I raise my gain too high and I kind of feel that Eco M is too soft. Then I will stop the gain. I will say, Eco, can you stop playing? Can you raise your volume on your amplifier? Okay, so Eco already raised the volume, so I will continue to increase the gain while he's still playing. Yeah, so I can see I have a good signal and also not so high gain level. So when the gain level is too high, you have a chance to get a lot of distortion and also unwanted buzzing sound. Or maybe you want to explain more on the amplifier?
Okay, for this amplifier that we are using, we have line 6 Spider V20. So it's a small amp, but even though it's small, it can still be heard in the house mix because we have miking.
Yep.
So you don't have to worry about getting your guitar to be heard in the mix, because the soundman will make sure of that lah. So the important thing is you get your sound first. So for my clean sound, I'm quite comfortable with this setting. It has slight reverb and quite balanced mix lah. Yeah. So in this particular amp, I don't have any EQ like bass, mid or treble, but I have tone to control the high end of the guitar lah. Yeah. Okay, once I'm comfortable with my sound, yeah, with my clean sound, I will try to use my second sound, which is crunch. Okay, I got my overdrive pedal here, but just to show you the capability of this amp for a situation where the guitarist don't have any pedal at all, he can just use the setting on this amp.
So this is the step that maybe the soundman is quite boring, but it's very important. So what the soundman can do is go on the stage and ask Iko and experience with him. What is the difference between grunge and drive?
Okay, so crunch is where you get more of the slack distortion. So it's not fuzz or distortion level yet, but it's more slightly overdrive lah. It will sustain more and can hurt the breaking up of the sound. Yeah, so for this sound, I'm quite comfortable. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this sound for the crunch sound.
Okay, thank you, Iko. This is why the like what Iko mentioned just now, that audio engineer should have a little bit of knowledge. So when he's saying like fuzz or distortion, and a lot of time that we don't know where to learn all these things. The best place to learn is from the musician itself. So you don't need to waste so much time on YouTube or Google. Just ask your musician, hey, why you always play your distortion? Why you always play clean? And when you play clean and when you play the distortion. And Iko, as a sound engineer, I want to ask you, what is the reverb knob do?
Okay, I'm going to shift back to my to clean sound. Okay, reverb is basically the reverb on the amp is basically emulating situation where you are in a big room or in a hall. I mean, even a small room, like you have a small amount of reverb. It's just to give how do you call it, space, feeling of it's in a space. Okay, this is with reverb. It's slightly behind because I put it almost
Maximum.
full. Yeah, it's just like at 9 o'clock here. It's quite dry.
Yeah, you can hear the reverberation is lesser.
Yeah.
And it's very dry, like playing a dry room, like
Yeah.
in the studio. So is it very important that to add reverb in all your playing?
Okay, it depends on the song and depends on your parts. Because too much reverb will make the overall sound to be cloudy. So you don't need too much reverb actually, unless it's like, I mean, the modern worship songs, they use a lot of reverb for a certain particular effect. That one is okay lah. Yeah, but it depends on the song lah. Basically, depends on the song and the arrangement.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the reason why we need to sound check all the different kind of sound in the guitar is because every sound they have a different level of volume. So let's say, Iko, can you play a clean volume, clean sound? Sorry. So you can see here with the clean sound, I get a very comfortable gain level here. All right. So can you play a distortion sound? You see, on the distortion side or on the distortion sound, you will slightly get the gain is much higher. Can you play again? Yeah. So in this situation, there's two things that we can do. Maybe we ask Iko, Iko, can you reduce the gain of your whatever pedal or your amplifier? Okay, then switch back to clean. Okay, so now, without I'm doing anything, I already solved the problem to finding a good gain level in my mixer. So the main keyword is that we need to have communication. It's not that always that, oh, Iko, play softer, Iko play louder, right, Iko?
Yeah.
So what is your, normally in line check, what is your requirement from a soundman? What do you want a soundman to do for you?
Okay, basically from musician side, I just as a guitarist, I would prefer my sound not to be overly compressed. Yeah, just a slight compression just to control the dynamics. And in terms of effects, yeah, for the reverb and delays would be normally from my pedals, unless soundman sometimes put on your own reverb just to make sure it's gel correctly in the mix. And then, okay, talking about the sound, in terms of volume, overdrive tends to be louder. So if you're using any pedals like Headcheck Storm, you have to make sure you can control the volume for each patch. Like patch 1 or clean, your volume is 100. Patch 2, overdrive, so you can put it maybe at 90, just to make sure it's balanced when you are changing between patches.
Okay,
yeah.
Let us create a scenario like what do you mean by the compressed sound? So in mixer, we have something called compressor, like in TF mixer. So this compressor, let's say, Iko, can you play something? I do a very hard compress. So you can hear the sound is a little bit muffled. And normally the musician, they don't like it because sound frequency could be loose and you cannot hear the dynamic of the sound.
Yeah.
So this is why we always have to communicate with the musician, and I start slowly adjust the compressor that not compress too much on his guitar sound. Can you continue to play? And this level is good, and it's only compressed when he overplay. Something like this, you overplay. Yeah. A little bit more. This is with compressor, without compressor. And you can hear without compressor it sound much louder, and with compressor it tends to be more control. Okay, so we already demo. This is the way that how do we do line check. It's not about one-man show. It's not that only soundman to do the job, but we need to communicate. We need to always ask them, are you comfortable with this level? Are you okay with this volume?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so thank you. Okay, we already demo to you how the way we do line check and also sound check. So I want to ask Iko, normally how long do you do the line check and sound check in your church?
The full line check and sound check with the whole band. Line check usually would take less than 5 minutes if the cables, everything connected correctly. I already set my sound in my home, in my house, so it will make the soundman's job easier because I already set my volume to be balanced for all the patches that I'll be using. So it should be less than 5 minutes. And then for the whole sound check with the whole band, it depends. If there's no issue with the drummer's mic or the toms, it would be between 20 to 30 minutes. Yeah.
So normally how do you do your sound check? Because line check is basically done by the crew and also soundman. So in your sound check, what is normally you do? You run through a song?
Okay, usually we will run through the song. It doesn't have to be full song. Normally we will play the softest song in the set and the loudest song, so that we all can really hear the difference in dynamics, and sometimes also easier to do the balancing because sometimes if we just do the loudest part of the song, the set, like okay, let's say we get the nice gain and balancing, then got one song it's like super soft, it will be hard to adjust again so it's better during sound check do full on softest and the loudest song.
So after we do that, do you think that the line check and also sound check is very important? Is it a must thing to do?
It is a must if possible.
Thank you once again, Iko, for joining us this afternoon, and we believe that whatever that he shared with his experience could help you to improve your serving in church. For your information, Yamaha have a page mainly talk about house of worship, where you can find our resources, our video, our webinar in yamaha.com. Thank you. Stay safe and stay healthy. Thank you.